Ladies and germs, welcome back to GhettoRig episode 289. My name is Jay. All the way to my right, I have my co-host Eddie. Behind the camera, we have Miggy, pushing the ones and twos. Um, anyway, so we had a crazy ass shit happen over at the White House.
Oh yeah, we had EJT's. He's 4-0.
Hmm?
He's 4-0
What do you mean?
for assassination.
Oh yeah. 4-0. There have been a lot of conspiracy theories flying around. Perhaps the most prominent one was that right when the shots were happening, they invited this mentalist, right? And you guys know what's a mentalist?
Yes, Oz the mentalist. Oz Perlman.
Yes. So he basically can read your mind or something like that, right? So they do like tricks, mind tricks. And he was doing a mind trick at that moment, and then he shows this piece of paper to Ivanka, and Ivanka goes like, how did you know? And they all took a picture of that and said, see that? They were notified that this is going to happen, even though it's just the mentalist doing it. So basically, there have been a lot of false accusations, false conspiracy theories, things like that. A lot of people are saying that, and then they take a picture of people smiling together after this whole thing happened. It was like, this is not the face of people that are afraid. They all knew this is going to happen. Basically saying that it was orchestrated, that Trump is orchestrating this thing, blah, 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 this and that, the third.
What I thought was weird.
Second monitor's down. I don't know why.
What I thought was weird was I saw the only really thing I saw about it was what's Dana White's reaction.
Yeah, dude, that's funny.
That was the weirdest fucking reaction I thought I saw was
Like, hey, fuck,
he's like they were screaming everybody get down, everybody was getting down, I was standing up, it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, people with guns in here.
Yeah. Dude, I was just watching everything. It was fucking awesome.
Just taking it
Well,
in.
the whole thing was like, they reported as, oh my God, the guy's like, but the guy wasn't even on the same floor, let alone being near the room and this thing happening, you know what I mean? So everyone kind of knew that everyone is okay.
Did they know, 100% whether he was actually, like, going after the president?
Yeah. He released the manifesto, like, an hour or hour and a half before to his friends and family. And throughout his journey all the way to Washington, D.C., he was basically mocking everyone by saying how easy it is during his journey, that nobody's kind of, like, checking him and things like that. And he brought basically shotguns with buckshot, because he said Senator Mass, if he did slug, that would do too much damage. But he brought Senator Mass. His manifesto basically said, oh, I'm not against the security service, not the police, not the National Guard, blah, blah, blah. Basically, he was like, I'm going to basically assassinate Trump's administration, everyone from top all the way to the bottom in an order of importance. And the only person that's excluded out of it is Kash Patel. Literally, like, mentions him by name. But to this day, investigators don't know what the fuck was that all about. He makes a run for it, and then
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, like Sonic the Hedgehog, that shit. Like, kind of when everybody was like, oh, we're gonna storm Area 51, and they kind of like did that little thing similar to that. He just kind of runs for it on the wrong floor, and it just gets taken down immediately. And then the only person that got injured was another Secret Service agent that got hit by friendly fire, basically. So he wasn't even able to release anything. Just a sheer idea that and then the mayor of New York is basically he's doubling down on basically, here you watch him right there, he's gonna run now. Yeah, go. He's coming right there in the corner on the left, that little black spot. Go ahead, push it.
Oh.
Yeah, that was him. That was that. And then there's a picture of him completely naked on the floor, and Trump has basically been trolling him for that. And then New York's mayor basically doubles down by saying, oh, you need to do aggression against all the Republicans, this and that. So there are, the Democrat side is definitely fueling this with their rhetoric and their opinions and ideas. The kid was an engineer. And at first they reported that it was a white man. At first,
There you go.
at first they reported he was a white guy, but he's not. He's half black. So, um, definitely media played a big role in this, in misinformation, you know. And I don't know, the whole thing is very, very odd to me. Like, the whole thing is very odd. Why has there been 3 assassination on Trump? You know, this whole Trump derangement syndrome, um, to the point where they want to go out there and kill him, you know. And it's all coming from a liberal side. I don't know, it's pretty weird to me. And then
Erica Kirk.
hmm?
I just want to go home.
Yeah, she just want to go home. People have been doubling down on Erica Kirk by saying that she was a plant. She was looking for somebody of high status. So they're basically, what's his name? Nick Fuentes is doubling down on this by saying that um, Charlie Kirk didn't have the riz to pull a conservative baddie like that. Basically, that she was it was all like a, what do you call that? Arranged marriage type of deal. And now
you say baddie?
that's basically how he says. Yeah, pull up his tweet.
I'm blacked out.
Oh
Both monitors?
no, just one is going in and out. I don't know why. Is it the connection? Can you check the
I've
connection?
already unplugged it and plugged it. The
Yeah.
only thing I haven't done is here.
Yeah. So, anyways, there's a bunch of shit going on in
Yeah, okay, my bad.
bunch of shit going on in the politics. Maybe you want to unplug the HDMI as well.
Let's see what it does.
But yeah, so that's basically the gist of it. As far as the news goes, and then the Strait of Hormuz is open, it's closed, it's open, it's closed, it's open, it's
Is
closed.
that still the same trend right now?
Same shit over and over again. I just don't understand the hysteria behind it, because the only people literally that are like suffering this is Russia and China.
That is what?
That is suffering the oil shortage is Russia and China, majority of it, because it is the 20% of the oil reserves of the world, but Russia and China are like the primary customers, right? So,
Wonder when China is gonna jump into any world conflicts.
well,
All
China,
they've been doing is building buildings for the past what, fucking 100
Well,
years.
they have their conflict with Taiwan.
yeah, they have. I was about
That
to
is
say
true.
they
But
have that.
But they ain't doing nothing. They're just
They're not.
shooting bullets in the air.
Yeah, exactly.
I
But-
mean, there's they like are firing like water cannons and shit at each other's boats.
What's up,
in
hippie
that
space
one
kitty?
body of water. What is it? What
That's
is it?
China around the Philippines because they claim territory over there and they want to be like,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. I don't want to kill you, but I'm gonna fuck.
Get out of my space. Yeah.
Well, the problem with China is China built too many ghost cities. You know what's a ghost city, right? So basically, the way it is they build bunch of buildings where people. So this is how it works. It's very similar structure like in Colombia as well, and a bunch of South American countries. You basically come in and you buy a apartment in a building that's going to be built, right? But what they do, they take that money and they start financing the projects that they already started. So that money that comes in, it goes to the projects that are already started. But this project, this doesn't get started until the next batch of people comes in and buys the next building, and then they start financing this project. So a bunch of people in China have been paying this, and they're like, well, we don't see, when is this going to be done, right? And then a bunch of them just kind of stopped paying on all of it. So they kind of finished building these buildings. These people stopped paying on their loans and stuff like that. So China created a bunch of these ghost cities where no one is literally living in them, right? So there's that part of the Chinese economy that's there. In addition to that, China also understands that they can't just jump in a war like that, right? Like they can do like local conflicts, or they can do conflicts by proxy, but they're not gonna do anything like that. But what they've been trying to do is Russia, China, India, Brazil, and South Africa. They've been trying to push more with the world against direct competition to World Bank with BRICS. BRICS is just another bank, and Brazil just pretty much came out and said Brazil discovered a bunch of minerals and stuff like that, oil and things like that. So they said we're going to trade with them in whatever currency they want to trade in. Because right now the rest of the world is trading in dollars, right? So they're saying, no, we're going to trade in yuan, whether it's rubles or yuan, whatever, right? The problem that I see in this is a lot of people are just trying to say, oh, well, we don't like what America is doing, so we're not going to use the American dollar. Well, too fucking bad. because the minute you go to the international market and when your bank's going to need to do the conversions and this and that, the third, it's all done by dollars. Whether you want it or not, it's going to be done by dollars. Unless you're doing direct business with China, Russia, India, Brazil, you kind of shit out of luck, right? And majority of the time, the country's doing bad, they'll go to World Bank and just ask for the loan. It's called the basket of money, and it's got a bunch of different currencies in it, and they'll take that and try to bring up their economy, right? So China's got its own fucking problems right now, and I don't think China wants to jump in a war. They got their own internal problems, but Taiwan is the other thing on the chopping block. But I think what defer them now, if the presidency was going the way it was with Biden, China would have attacked. I'm guessing China would have attacked Taiwan because the way we pulled from Afghanistan, they would have attacked Taiwan. But because Trump came out and pretty much said entire civilization is gonna die overnight, they're like, okay, this motherfucker's crazy. We don't know what he's gonna do. So it's just like lay off our Taiwan plans, until the next person comes in.
Bibi Netanyahu has cancer.
Oh, okay. So he's like, either way, either the international court is gonna take me or the cancers.
God himself.
Fucking, bro, that guy is incredible. I just still don't understand how is he not in jail. There's been issued basically the international courts basically said that he's done war crimes against humanity, and he's still out there, going back and forth, traveling, doing whatever the fuck he wants.
How many counts?
Huh?
How many counts?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they have enough paper for that. And but they just reported that
longest sitting prime minister of Israel.
Yeah, and then that there was been a whole bombing going on in Lebanon, right? By Israel. So Israel has been bombing Lebanon like crazy, and apparently they said that Hamas, they bombed a bunch of tunnels of Hamas in Lebanon. So I don't know. The situation with Netanyahu is kind of interesting. I don't know. What you got, Miggy?
I was just looking here at the.
So he's been prime minister multiple times. Somebody else comes in and then he goes back in.
Yeah, 1996 and 1999, 2009, 2021, and he's still sitting. And do they hold elections in Israel? If there's a war, I don't think so.
No.
He's a wartime president.
Oh shit, this is fucking crazy. This is not good. Pentagon admits U.S. has no defense against hypersonic weapons. A senior defense official told senators the country lacks any shield against hypersonic or cruise missiles attacks as the administration seeks a record 1.5 trillion budget. Bullshit. There's just a fucking justification why they want 1.5 trillion motherfucking dollars. A Pentagon official told lawmakers Monday that the U.S. has no defense against hypersonic weapons or cruise missiles today. The admission came as the administration pushes a 1.5 trillion budget for 2027, 70.5 billion for missile procurement, 188% increase over 2026. Now, how the fuck do you count 1.5 trillion and you only need 70.5 billion and you're trying to justify 1.5 trillion with all you need is 70.5 billion? That makes no fucking sense to me. About 40 billion of the missile funding depends on a reconciliation bill that faces growing resistance from Republican lawmakers in Congress. Anyway, did you see that Senate basically blocked the Cuba war thing? Trump proposed that and they blocked it. I think it was like a 51-47 little.
It's not a war. It's just a special operation.
Yeah, they blocked that.
Everybody, that's the new meta.
What do you mean new meta?
That's the new meta. You don't call it a war. You call it a special operation.
Oh.
They got bad things going on over there. We gotta go help them.
You know where that came from, right?
Russia.
Democrats weigh using Trump as Iran, suing Trump as Iran war nears a 60-day deadline. So Democrats are putting together to sue Trump, right? So I didn't know this. FBI raids 22 Minneapolis child care centers in a fraud probe. Perfect, good.
I mean, the talks might not be working, but they're still happening. So whether they want something to go on in Cuba or not, things are going on. They are talking to people there.
Yeah. You talking about CIA and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
well, Rubio openly said that they met with people, and it's already known that they were talking to this guy known as El Cangrejo, which is Raul's caretaker slash nephew.
Cangrejo.
El Cangrejo.
The crab.
Raúl Guillermo Rodríguez Castro. This guy.
And if he's the nephew of
or nieto, nephew,
the grandson
grandson, yeah.
of who?
Raúl Castro.
Raul Castro was who?
The
Castro's brother?
Like,
Castro's brother, yeah.
So they're replacing one dumbass with another dumbass?
No, I don't know what's going on really. I mean, this guy's talking to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
The sitting prime minister, I guess you could say, not prime minister, but the one in charge, supposedly, doesn't even know that this guy's talking to these people. But the country is, it's a puppet state by the Castros.
Mm.
So there's so many things going on that nobody really knows what's going on.
Gotcha. Oh, and what's his name? Basically resigned or stepped down. Cook.
I will say Diaz-Canel has been making the same remarks that Maduro was making before he took Uber Delta.
Which is?
We will fight till the end. Come for us and we will die. We will give our lives. All that bullshit.
Yeah. Just basically horseshit.
I mean, their guns are basically carried by cows, so...
Yeah.
What's that gonna do?
Nothing.
They see some fucking warthogs.
I mean, if they have weapons, right? Like, I mean, how are they getting weapons or bullets? Or how much of a stash do they have? You know what I mean?
They don't. It's all Soviet era shit.
they have a big stash. It's just all old as fuck.
Yeah. Well, what it takes is just one of those rockets.
One Ukrainian drone strike. Like what they did to the Russian air base.
Yeah. And that's it?
Yeah. We got more than enough drones to be able to just send them over 90 miles.
Yeah, they won't
It
even
would be so quick.
They don't even need to charge them. Just release them, bring them back.
You don't need full battery, just half battery.
Yeah, it'd be like a Strait of Hormuz. Open, close, open, close, open, close. Oh, battery's still at 60%. Send it again.
That shit would suck. Can you believe it? Like one of those drones back then when they caught the what is it, the U-2 spy plane? Those things would have been gnarly back then. That would have been some alien technology. And now we can just hover the motherfuckers right above you, drop a bomb on you.
So I was watching what Iran actually did, which was really, really smart. You know how we have the airplanes that are undetected by radars and things like that because the way they're built. So Iran said, well, we don't have the technology. We can't detect this plane. So this is what we're going to do. So they released heat-seeking missiles. They just kind of go in shape of an 8. Like they just kind of float around and spin in the air in shape of an 8. And then they'll detect the heat. And then from the ground, it will release the rocket that chases the heat of the engine. So they knew that they cannot catch it with a radar, but they knew the only thing they can see is the engine producing the heat, right? So that's how they were able to take down one of our planes, is by literally like using, like thinking outside the box, right? Basically.
Those guys are using slingshots to throw bombs.
Pretty much, yeah.
I heard something the other day.
But the Iran is pretty much like depleted completely at this point.
You guys have heard of the Gulf of Tonkin? Shit with like Vietnam, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Apparently, like, there's a story, or I don't know if it's a theory or a story behind it, that like when we started shooting back because we thought they were firing on one of our vessels, was our radars being confused by rain. That's how the whole shit started.
I think it's just an excuse. They're like, nothing going on. Shoot, we're gonna blame the rain for it.
And so like a buddy or a buddy of mine, his brother, was talking to us about like how his grandpa, I think, yeah, grandpa was kind of like had people that were over there that told him like a riverboat guide told him like, you guys started this shit for like no reason, like there was no valid reason. You're here for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, no, they were there for something. You know, it
to
wasn't fully
spread the
nothing.
idea of democracy and free elections and
Yeah, they were out there to
protect
spread
those
capitalism. You know, and
liberties.
the whole thing was they were there because to be against Russia, because Russia was taking over control in that area. So they didn't want that. I mean,
Yeah, but
Is
that's hindsight.
yeah, that's the same shit is happening right now in Iran. Do you think it's anything else? Everybody thinks it's about oil. I mean, yeah, oil is the byproduct of the whole thing, but the whole thing is about the Russian influence in the region, right? So,
And the amount of allies that we have gotten just from that.
yeah, exactly.
That's a move in and of itself. It probably wasn't what they expected or the amount of support that they expected, but Iran pushed it there.
Yeah.
They just started nuking everybody.
Yeah. They kind of did, right? Because Iran was becoming more and more radicalized, you know. So,
It pissed me off. I didn't have no Formula One for a whole month because these fuckers. And they canceled both of the races that were for this month. So
Mhm.
this whole calendar month, there hasn't been a single race because they had
Bahrain is out.
Saudi Arabia
Hmm.
and Baku.
Baku was out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, but bro, I don't know. So he's been losing, like, it's at an all-time low. The popularity of Trump is at all-time low right now. The voters are basically saying, but then again, who's doing these polls? Who are they asking? You know, it's kind of hard to say.
I believe it with these fucking gas prices.
Um,
Like we were talking about the other day, that's what people really care.
well, see that the gas prices are high. Yes, I agree, but the oil prices have gone down again. They went up and then went back down, right? So, it's due to the way it works. People buy what's called futures and forward contracts on oil, basically saying, "Hey, I don't know what the gas price is gonna be like, so let me just pay forward." Right? And that's what happens. And so when the prices hit that, even though the gas prices are low, the futures and forwards are still ranking high. You know, so but overall, I just don't like the idea of like the whole that United States is an Israeli puppet. I don't think that's the case. You know, I think we have our own little agenda there, and could care less about the Israel. You know, as long as they're giving the money to buy our equipment and military equipment, we don't care. You know what I mean? And they're kind of like the only real ally in that region that has the firepower, right? No one else does. Kind of rely on Israel to kind of keep peace in that area.
Have you guys heard about the
Which they
Stonewall
don't.
theory?
Huh?
Have you guys ever heard about the Stonewall theory?
Oh, by the way, before you go there, don't forget. I just saw something. I don't know if this was bullshit or not. They said that the Turin, the cloth of Turin, they did the scan and they said that it's not a human, it's a statue. I don't know how much of a truth that is.
That was one of the speculations that they were making. That was one of the ways that they could do it is to use a statue or something like that.
Go ahead. What was this other one? Stonewall?
Oh, the Stonewall theory. It's the theory that when something really tragic happens, like somebody dies, like in a house or something,
Yeah.
the walls can absorb really bad energy, and that explains why we have like ghosts or like people hearing things and stuff like that.
Not fucked up pipes.
It's like the walls hold memories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a theory. It's not real.
Yeah, I don't believe in any of that shit. I really don't.
I've heard I've seen videos talking about like if you have two plants and you talk to them differently, that one will like go rotten and the other one will grow well. I don't believe.
Yeah,
in
and then what
any of that.
they did you know what they figured out why it's like that? They did that with fruits as well.
Stone tape theory. Sorry, that's the correct one.
And then they did that shit with fruits and vegetables as well. So basically, when you're screaming at the fruits and vegetables, there's more bacteria from your mouth hits the fucking vegetables, so they start rotting faster. That's literally what it is.
Yeah, I don't believe any of that shit.
Nope. That's not. Yeah. Nope. And love languages don't exist. They don't. Name me a person that doesn't like physical touch or gifts. Name me. I'll wait.
What
But
type of personality do you have? Are you a
yeah,
time or
Cancer.
an time?
That's my personality.
You're Cancer.
Yeah, Leo. My personality is Leo. I'm Pisces. Let me blame every single stupid shit I do on my zodiac sign. That'll work. Fucking dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
You guys been watching any new shows?
Yeah, actually, I started From today. It's like a. Have you heard of it? Have you heard of it? It's like a horror show, a little bit of a horror thriller, very like mystery type of vibe. Essentially, the gist of the show, which is something you figure out very quickly, so I'm not gonna be spoiling anything just in case you want to watch it. I just started it today. I got through hella episodes though. Essentially, the way it works is there's this town, very very small town, like single road with not that many houses and like one like community center, and people somehow continuously get stuck there. So, and they come from all different parts of the U.S., right? Like somebody could be driving in New York, some of them could have been driving in Austin, and they all essentially go down a road where there's a tree, and everyone sees the same tree, and then they have to turn around because right the road's blocked, and when they turn around, they get stuck in this city, or this very small town. It's not a city, very very small
Cause
town,
it can't get out, basically.
and you can't get out.
They can't get out because what? They got like an invisible.
No, so like
barrier?
the cities, the small town's one road, and
It's
all
like
the houses,
it's like a
and they
game.
go through that one road, and they go through the woods a little bit, and then somehow like magically they end up just coming right back to the other side, and there's like no exits, there's no nothing, it's just fucking circle.
Loop,
Even
yeah.
though they like pay attention, they're driving straight, somehow they end up right back on the other side of the town, on the other side of the entrance, and going through. They would drive both ways, all frustrated and stuff. And there's apparently been people living there for a long time, and they like kind of understand when somebody new comes in. They kind of gotta let them figure it out on their own, and then they explain everything to them. But also the horror aspect of the show is at nighttime, they all have to like lock their doors and stay inside and close the windows and like not look outside. There's these creatures that make themselves look like humans, and they also can like get into your head and know who you know, and they make themselves look like people that you know or people that have passed away on purpose to kind of get you to. And essentially like they can't get inside, and if you allow them inside, they'll go inside and they'll kill the fuck out of you.
Oh.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I kind of like that plot because we talked about this. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. There was a book and a movie about it.
So the interesting thing about this show is there's you got to be able to deal with a shit ton of unanswered questions.
Is there something wrong with the graphics card? Because now this one is blinking.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It might need like an update or something. But it's a good show. I like it. There's like
Some
a new season.
Willy
that just
Wonka
came.
shit. Yeah, it is some Willy Wonka shit.
Yeah,
In the loop. There was this.
I didn't do a great job of explaining it.
There was
either,
this
so.
other show like back in the day. It was a long time ago. I think it was called like the Dome or something like that, where everybody was kind of trapped inside the city with a dome. And there was another one on Netflix that released, put this. I think just did 2 seasons and they called it a quiz. It was again similar to that, like this idea of a town that no one can escape and things like that.
The only dome I know about is
Would you want to live
The
a life like
Simpsons
that?
dome.
Let's say you got in that town. Would you want that or no?
no, they're all scared shitless. Can't go outside when it's dark.
Yeah, just stay in.
Oh, just stay in. And then you got fucking grandma at your window talking about, let me in, honey.
But your
I'm
windows are
cold.
closed. How would you know there's grandma?
Bitch, the motherfucker's knocking on the window whispering. They do that in the show. Like, they, like, surround houses and they all, like, whisper shit and, like, try and get into the people's head.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Oh, okay, so they're actively knocking on the doors and shit. They're just covering the windows because that's the best thing they can do.
to ignore them so
Mm.
they don't get, like, caught up in their bullshit.
They don't have any insulation in the attic to put it on the windows with this noise permeable?
I mean, they do a pretty good job at, like, ignoring them. That was, like, one of the incidents that ended up happening, essentially, like, to start off the show was...
Now both monitors are flickering.
yeah, they are.
About
That's
to go.
weird.
Allahu Akbar up in this motherfucker.
I'm just turning it off.
That was like one of the starting plots to kind of show off the show was family at the house. Drunk father stays out and forgets to go home, so friend lets him sleep over at the house. Mom and daughter at the house, and grandma comes up the daughter's window. Grandma, right? Not really grandma. Talking about let me in, and the little girl opens the window, snatches her ass, fucking rips her apart and shit.
Oh, they show all that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like the Coquis in Puerto Rico, but instead you just hear, "Honey, it's me. Honey, it's me."
Grandma was talking about I'm cold, let me in.
You know
I
what's
miss
crazy?
you.
When we're in
Grandma, stay your bitch ass out there.
you know what?
You know the rules. After 9, we ain't going.
And there's something weird too. They only walk. They don't run.
Oh, so you just run around them?
Yeah, but they move in packs and they'll like surround you and shit.
Oh, can you just can you 1-2 step, and
I don't
go
know.
around them?
I don't know. They're very weird. It's very weird in the sense of like.
What if they portray the grandma or grandpa you hated, and then they just turned into that and
Fuck
like,
you, bitch,
oh
stay
motherfucker,
outside."
let's go, pop pop
Stay
pop
outside.
pop.
Well, now I'm starting to explain a lot of shit because you're asking me questions.
No,
but-
don't.
Okay.
I'm about to start looking this bitch up.
So, would you want to live in a town? Let's say it's that you don't have these creatures. Would you want to live in a town like that?
No.
Why not? Life would be easy.
Stuck in one place at all. Well, I mean, I feel like
Life would be easy.
you would figure out a way to be content with it, right? If you have no other option.
Oh yeah, that's fucked up, dog.
What happened?
That's grandma. Oh, you're not looking at it.
What? You just
Hold
came out
on,
with a
bro.
left field with that one. Was it Michael Jackson? Michael Jackson, they ass dance around them. Yeah, moonwalk around them bitches. Oh shit, they are pretty creepy looking. Where's
But
the song?
they look they only do that once they've got to
yeah,
you.
yeah.
They when they're talking to you and trying to convince you to either come outside or they're getting close to you still, they still just look like humans.
Yeah.
It's not creepy at all.
Now let me ask you this: what is the song?
So it's kind of annoying actually because right now you can watch it for free, just the first season,
Okay.
on everywhere. But if you want to watch the other 3 seasons, you gotta have the MGM shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
so they hook you and then tell you fuck off.
Yeah, I'm still watching on the first season. And I'll see it from there. But I mean, figure out a way to watch it.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Good show. I think it's a good show so far. My friends are really hooked on it. The 4th season recently just dropped, and they were the ones that told me about it, and they were super, super excited about it. A new season finally coming out.
Oh, let me ask you this: what happened to Walking Dead? Did they finish the whole saga?
Now they have spin-offs.
But they finished the whole saga, the original saga.
Yeah, it's done. But now they have a Negan and what's her name? The daughter of the farm guy. When they go to the farm, her daughter Maggie.
Maggie, Chinita's wife.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Negan and Maggie's show. They have a show just for Norman's character. What's his name? Daryl.
Daryl, yeah.
They have
Daryl
a
and
show.
that lady, right? Or is it just Daryl?
Yeah, she's in it. I watched the first season, but I think they're more introducing her in the second season because she had a small portion in the season, but it was mostly just Daryl. Then they're also doing another show of Rick and his wife Michonne.
Okay.
Of them because the show kind of ends without him.
Yeah.
He supposedly died at one point, but they never found a body or anything like that, and he didn't die. Is what ended up happening, and at the end of the show, I think if I remember correctly, they kind of figure out where he might have gone or whatever. But they end the show completely.
Yeah.
So everyone's story is just now split apart. They're gonna do a bunch of spin-offs. I think it's 3 spin-offs. They already had a spin-off before while the original was going. It's called Fear the Walking Dead. That one is just in the universe. It has nothing to do with any of the characters from the main show though.
Yeah, the only show that I watched from beginning to the end was Blacklist. No, I've never watched any other show.
Blacklist for me got kind of boring
at the end.
I think
some of the
so.
seasons were
I'm not sure where I stopped, but I just remember stopping because it was kind of it's just the same thing kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of the some of these shows, like I can watch them for a little bit, but then like I get thrown off. Whether it's like the acting style, I kind of get a little tired of, cause like, or for example, like I was actually getting a little pissed at From today, cause the cinematography is done reversed on purpose to create like a sense of crowded and like anxiety and like, for example, let's say, Miguel, you know how if you're framing an interview, right, and there's two people talking to each other, so you may have like a main cam, and then you're gonna have two side cams. The cameras, let's say you're one of the people, and I'm where the camera's gonna be at, and I'm framing you. I'm gonna have you on the right side of my frame with dead space on the left because you're talking towards that left side, and then you on the right side or on the left side, I'm gonna have you more framed to the left because you're talking that way, and you leave the dead space towards the side they're talking. They purposely like flip that and do it backwards, where the person is talking to the close side of the screen, and like it's weird, and it's done on purpose. For me, it kind of pissed me off at first because someone that started to pay attention, like for example, certain shows and movies are kind of ruined for me now.
I don't remember.
I spend a little too much time in analyzing how it was shot, and sometimes it can be a great thing, sometimes it can be a really bad thing.
Oh, it was Spencer. I was telling Spencer about this, and that's become a new way of framing. It's like a little new meta that's been coming up. Like a lot of people are framing not just.
Is it meta to say meta now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember what the fucking meta means. Most efficient tactic, some shit like that. But yeah, it's become a popular thing to frame it like that, and probably it's to get some type of reaction from the audience.
No, I think it's to evoke certain emotions, right? Like when you do it the way I'm saying is the most pleasing way to the eye to do it, right? Where it looks balanced and correct. They're doing it's a horror show. They're doing it on purpose to create that certain feeling. But for me, because I'm someone that can analyze that, it just bothers me, you know? Versus like to someone that would be looking at it subconsciously, they just don't even notice what it's doing. But it's doing that on purpose. Certain shows and movies kind of have been ruined for me. I just see certain shots and it kind of pisses me off the way they did it. Which I feel like directors and these guys that are high level, like I have no grounds to stand on when it's trying to talk shit about that.
No, they're doing it for mass market. They're not doing it for you.
No.
You know
What I'm
I
trying
mean?
to say is I think they all do have a reason why they're doing it, and I'm just not understanding that reason.
You know, I'll tell you what the reason is because it's giving them exactly what they want to portray. Because an average person is not gonna sit there and analyze like you are. Like for example, Azara Chrome perfume. It's one of the most liked perfumes, but you can't stand it. It's just one of those things. It's not created for you for like these. You know what I mean? It's created for the mass market.
Then there's shows like what was it called? The one where they was about the kid like murdering the little girl, and it had to do with like incel and shit like that.
Yeah.
That show was pretty cool because they did. What is it?
Adulthood.
No, adolescence. Adolescence. That was pretty cool to watch because before watching it, I had learned that every episode was a single shot. They never changed camera angles, no nothing. It was all started on one camera and ended on that same camera. There was no cuts, right? Every change of scenery was fluid throughout. Like they actually fucking took these cameras and like mounted them onto drones, and then like when they were driving, they'd follow the car around to the next location and then drop down, and the guy would pick up the drone and continue the scene. Like that was pretty cool to watch because I saw some like behind the scenes videos for it, and like also watching the show. And recognizing that and be like, damn, these motherfuckers really like took their time when it comes to like choreographing that shit. Choreographing a full hour episode through multiple locations and having it just be one single take from one angle, never changing from that camera, no cuts, no nothing.
I wish they would have done it to a better show though than Adolescence. Adolescence was pure bullshit.
Had great acting.
The
kid fucking killed it.
Yeah, but it was bullshit in the whole idea of it.
I think it was just
the subliminal messaging was bullshit. They did their research. None of that shit is true. Yeah, although everybody now that watched it thinks that's true.
What do you mean that none of that shit is true?
Whatever
kids aren't using that shit to bully other kids? Yeah, the fuck they are. Trust me.
They did research. No killing was happening. None of that stuff was happening.
I'm not saying killing. There was a show, dog. They got to make it exaggerated, right? But you don't think kids are like everything that's new in the world? kids are intaking that shit, especially teenagers, and they are using that, and
Mhm.
that is just part of like society now, and like they are fucking brutal.
No, but that's not the biggest concern right now. The biggest concern is bigger now, and there have been multiple books, multiple people have been coming out and talking about this, but yet they're being labeled as um, misogynists for actual research, actual scientific research that they're putting data out that say no, it's the contrary. This is not happening. Like the biggest thing right now is 13-year-old girls worried about wrinkles, and they have skincare routines before they even hit puberty, because the influencers that they follow online are worried about their wrinkles, right? That's a problem, not that shit that doesn't exist. Only if it does exist in such a small number, there's is negligible.
What I'm saying is that kids bully each other about everything.
No, I understand that. I understand that the kids bully each other by everything, but the spin and the subliminal message that they put on there, they were saying that they're portraying that they're these incel men or little boys that are doing all this, and they're a big problem. But that's not the case.
That's not the
That is the subliminal message.
that's not the message I got from it. It kind of just, I think, told a story about cyberbullying and like how it's being done in the new age. That's how I looked at it. Because you got to take it all with a grain of salt and extremely exaggerate it. It's a show.
Well,
it's not like it's a documentary.
Okay. Well, no, you have half a brain and you do that. You know what I mean? But most people, they go, "Oh, this is exactly what's going on right now."
Mm.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. I'm just telling you.
I
That's
see.
that's how
get
it
what you're
came
saying.
across.
I'll take the compliment.
Yeah, no, that's how it came across. Because most people don't go into details and like actually analyze and say, okay, well, this is not what it is. Like kind of like what they did that whole thing with the. You remember that dude that swindled a bunch of women? Tinder swindler.
I think I remember those.
Yeah, they did a documentary about a Tinder swindle. This dude was going around and just basically like extracting money from a bunch of ladies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They made a show about it. The shit's happening on daily basis with sugar babies. On daily. Nobody makes a show about that. You know what I mean? And then one guy goes and does it, and now it's a fucking Netflix documentary.
Shit, I think there's already plenty of shows, movies, documentaries, everything you can name some sort of entertainment about a gold digger. So
Yeah, but nobody's going like, you know what I mean?
well, it's almost like normal now.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, exactly. That is normal. Like we're normalizing the shit that shouldn't be normalized. You know, I don't know. It's just kind of, I don't know. Like I wish sometimes, like. Anyway, it doesn't fucking matter. Like one of my favorite movies is National Treasure with Nicolas Cage.
Mm-hmm.
They made a fucking show out of it, and show fucking sucks. Terrible. They took something that was really good and made it just a fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they went a little woke on it with Disney, and
Mhm.
now it's complete dog shit. Like they've done. Oh, by the way, talking about
Man,
Disney.
what was one? There was like a kids movie that me and Emily watched. I think it was like 2 years, maybe 3 years
Yeah.
ago, and it was something that me and her like grew up on,
Mhm.
kind of thing, like a Toy Story.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Imagine Toy Story coming out with a new one. I don't remember what it was, but I remember us watching it and going, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why are they like?"
Yeah.
Sausage party.
No. That we actually did, I think, watch that in theaters though.
That's a funny one.
Yeah.
But so Marvel. Let me just switch to Disney Marvel. There's no more Guardians of Galaxy. It's done, right? The 3 that came out, that was it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then they're talking about right now the Dune is coming out, and Dune already selected a date, and then Marvel was supposed to come out with another movie, but Dune was the first one to jump the gun and say this is the day we're gonna release it, and Marvel apparently is happening like on the same week.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think that's gonna work?
I think Marvel, with the cast that they're selecting, I saw the cast got released.
Yeah.
Like the official cast got released. With the cast that they're selecting, I think they're gonna perform still very well
Yeah.
that weekend. The reason I say so is, this is the thing too. Is you have to realize who's actually the people that still go to the movies. Bro, I hadn't gone to the movies in a long fucking time until recently, just to watch Peaky Blinders, right? So a lot of people that still go to the movies are because they like really doing that. And a lot of
they
those,
got money. God
and
damn, that shit's expensive
and
nowadays.
a lot of those people, you know what they'll do on a weekend like that? They look at it as an advantage. They look at it as, oh, I get to go watch both of them in one day. Like I don't got to go back for another fucking weekend to go watch Avengers. No, I'm gonna go watch Dune at 3:30, and at the 6 o'clock or 7:30 showing, whatever of Avengers, I'll be in that bitch too. Like a lot of people will go and do that. They'll watch multiple movies in one day, and they'll make a day out of it. You know, I think Avengers will still do well with the cast they have. Dune's gonna do well just because of the hype behind it. You know. Which I need to watch those movies just because everyone's so in fucking love with them. I watched the first one. I don't remember dog shit from it because I remember being on my phone so much because it was that boring.
Yeah, the beginning is boring as fuck, man.
I heard the second one was really good.
Second one was better because it got into action more. I think they took the criticism and said like, hey, we need a little more action because people were getting bored, so they threw the action on a little earlier on. But it's still, and there was a lot more action going on. But it was still like there were parts that were drawn out. Like you could skip half of that shit. You know?
Like before too, I used to hate dramas and things like that. I didn't really like a lot of movies with too much talking or build up and stuff like that. And as I've gotten older, I've learned to kind of enjoy it more and like appreciate what they're trying to do with the film. But for me, yeah, Dune there was too much of like. Bro, like, this is the factor, right, when I look at things, is if you're going to make something where people are confused at first, you got to keep them entertained long enough to the point where they can actually start to learn some things and understand it a little bit. But if you're going to have them confused and bored, that ain't going to work.
I think what they did with the movie, they made this for the cult followers. They're like, oh, cult followers will understand and appreciate it. But like, you bringing it to mass market. Mass market is not a cult follower.
Clearly, they're doing good enough with it, though.
They are now because it did get traction, and you know they did talk about it enough for it to become what it is. I'm hoping it's gonna be good because it did get pretty good at the very end of the second one. It did get because not that the second one was better than the first one, just the cliffhanger on the second one was like, fuck, I want more. You know what I mean? First one kind of left you with that little bit of cliffhanger, but it wasn't like. But this one was like, right at the peak. Before they hit the peak, they just kind of cut it.
I feel like that's what happened. Like Peaky Blinders made a mistake. I think that's why they're getting a lot of hate for this movie. Is there was a big cliffhanger at the finale of the last season of I don't want to say it, but I mean it's so old at this point. If you haven't watched it yet, that's on you. I'm sorry.
No, we haven't watched it.
But essentially, like his enemies in the show had him believing that he was gonna die of brain cancer, right? And so he goes off at the end of the show away from his family to die alone. He doesn't want his family to watch him die, essentially. And in that process of him being on his own, he's in one of those gypsy carriages, you know, like in the middle of the fucking woods somewhere. And he comes to the realization that they lied to him. And he kind of puts all the pieces together and figures out that he doesn't actually have brain cancer. He goes and like finds the doctor that told him that's under the, you know, people's payroll and shit like that. And they kind of end the show there. And then they pick up the movie, and the movie has a whole different plot line to it.
That's fucking dumb.
Yeah. It's still so essentially the enemies in the end are Nazis, right? Fascists. They're building their party in England is what's happening, and he essentially what he does is he goes and acts like he's one of them, but he's really working for Churchill, on the low key, and so the movie is the enemies are Nazis, but it's not the same Nazis. It's not the same people that were fucking him over. This is a whole new group of people. The movie is set already when the war is going on. Like the show when the show ended, the war hadn't started yet. I wanted to see the end of his story being the getting back at the people that fucked him over, which we didn't get to see that.
Yeah, because it was a whole implied that he fucks them all up, I guess.
I think it implied that, but in reality, like, because they use a lot of the characters in the show are real people, including, you know, the gang themselves. They are, you know, technically represented by real people, but like the main Nazi guy that is like his enemy is 100% like a real guy. His name was Oswald Mosley, and Oswald Mosley doesn't die in real life, and so we kind of knew, people that were into the show and kind of did a little research knew that he wasn't gonna kill him, because that wouldn't be historically correct, and they were kind of staying a little historically correct within the show, on like mass history wise, But we still wanted to see him get him in some kind of way. You know what I mean? But we never got that. And that kind of pissed me off. Especially because he's like such a hateable character. And they do that on purpose. He's such a piece of shit. Um, and we don't get to see him get fucked. that I think that really pissed off a lot of the people. And that's why everyone, I think, hates the new movie.
You know, this is something crazy. I didn't know this. Did you know that the original Nazi party was socialist?
Well, I think they started like within like the Communist Party, and then they
Yeah.
kind of branched out from there. Yeah.
Well, Hitler
Into
was
socialism.
spying on that party.
Hmm?
Hitler initially started spying on that party.
On what party? Socialist or the communist?
Socialists. When he was
What-
forming his fascist party.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. You know what I mean? Like the whole idea of Nazi party and that word gets thrown out a lot lately. I've been hearing a lot of that: fascist, Nazis, this and that, the third. Yet I don't think people mostly understand what that means. They just kind of have like prescribed their own fucking definition to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, but I wonder whether it's coming from fucking Peaky Blinders, and everybody's kind of watched that, and they're just kind of like, you know, equating one to another one. You know.
I don't think so. I think that comes from the white nationalist people we have here that, you know, liberals talking a lot about them. And these guys walking around with swastikas.
Yeah, but that's a very small
They're still there.
percentage. Yeah, they are.
And the
Of
smallest
course they
groups
are.
usually be the loudest.
They, yes.
So
On all of the sides. No, I agree
Yeah.
100%. I agree 100% on that.
it's how it is.
But they're
It's-
everywhere. It's
they-
not just in United States, right?
There's, whenever you have extremist groups usually aren't that big. They're not considered. They're not derived of the masses.
Yep.
You know, but they are the loudest. They
See,
are the
I
loudest.
think this is what happens, you know? Like, for example, global warming, right? Like, scientists go there, do the data, and say, hey, guys, this is really bad. Like, we're having global warming. Okay? Nobody pays attention to it. And they'll come back, well, hey, we did more research. This is actually really bad. Okay? And then they'll come back and say, no, we're here now. It's just fucked. And then they just double down and scream even louder and louder and louder and louder. And I think that's what's happening. Overall, people, like average people, don't give a fuck about any of that shit. So they just kind of scream at the top of their lungs. You know, like everybody puts out like, oh, these blue-haired liberals, right? Most liberals are not blue-haired or that fucking crazy or that fucking dumb. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go with the Armand line. Or I think it was Armand. Or it might have been Ilya. And what?
Yeah, and what? Yeah, Ilya.
And what?
Yeah, exactly.
You want me to do something about global warming?
Yeah, exactly.
Me?
Yeah, this is dumb.
Oh, and then you're gonna go to the companies that make money off that shit and tell them?
Yeah.
It sucks, right? Like, yeah, we are fucking probably destroying the planet, completely fucking it, just gang banging that shit at this point.
No Vaseline.
No Vaseline, no types of lubrication, no Diddy oil, none of that shit. No, none of that
Diddy
shit.
parties.
No. This is straight caveman amateur shit.
Yeah, dragging
But
by
it's
the
just like 10
dragging
of
by
them.
the feet, so dirt don't get in there.
But guess what? All the people that can do something about it benefit from nothing
Yeah.
happening about it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's happening right now with AI. So now you have these companies that will be your AI psychologists, I guess. You can contract them, and what they're telling you is like some shit that your dad would tell you, like go outside, walk in the sun type of deal. And like people are like flocking to these AI companies and using them as a source of. And then another big thing that's been happening is a lot of people will go out there. I think that happened with one of these biggest influencers. There was a female influencer that everybody was kind of like following. And after a while, she came back and is like, hey guys, I don't really want to talk about this, but this is how my life actually is. Starts talking about her anxiety, this and that. Millions and millions of views. Since that day, a bunch of other creators will go out there and then they start talking about how their life sucks, what kind of autism they got. And now the race begins who's going to double down on it and say that they have autism and also a club foot. The other one comes in, well, I have autism, club foot, and my dad is not there. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like the rabbit holing on this thing. And what they're noticing also is that more and more men are starting to act like teenage girls, meaning like the teenager boys are like starting to worry about their looks, and now there's this whole looks maxing shit where they're basically breaking their own fucking cheekbones and jawbones to grow it differently. Like this movement is starting to take off. Like social media is fucking people over. Social media is fucking people over, especially like the most vulnerable ones, and those are the children, right? And if you talk about it, huh?
It's natural selection.
Well, no, it's not natural selection. I don't think so. I think it's just
You look
literally.
at that and it hurts you, and you think you need to do something about it, and which could harm you, then natural selection.
Yeah, this because of the algorithm, right? The algorithm is based like that, where whatever you watch, it gives you more of that same content, more and more and more and more drastic for you to keep scrolling on it, right?
But you're liking it.
Huh?
But you're liking it.
Well, yeah, that's what your brain is asking for, right? And then just rabbit holes you down this dark path, which kind of, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's fucking interesting, you know.
We're good, boys.
Yeah, let's wrap it up for today. Thank you guys for joining us. Anyone in the chat, appreciate you hanging out with us. And we'll see you on Thursday. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.